Hello, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to today's episode of The Scoop. My name is Bibby, aka We've Got Beanio, aka Top Guy Bibs, aka the only one that's here today. I am on my own. Graham is off this week. He's decided to take 3 days holiday to, maximise the week off because it's a long bank holiday weekend here over in the UK. So he's getting 7 days off for the price of 3. That, my friends, is a life hack. So it will just be me for today, tomorrow, and Wednesday, and then we go off into the sunset and we return for Monday's episode of The Scoop. I think Graham's actually off on Monday as well, so it could just be me again. I'm not too sure, but we'll find out. JMK time, what is this? I mean, again, it's not a cry for help. We are live here on Monday the 30th now of May with today's episode of The Scoop. This is not a drill. Tina says, so once again, Graham is off in The Scoop. Is that a relatively normal time coincidence? No. No, it's not. But we're both very busy people. We work in the video games industry. Obviously, we don't want to go live without each other unless someone's genuinely not going to be around that day. So, we've both got a lot of work to do. He just put his on the back burner for a week as he decides to wait for his builders. And I mean, apparently one of the builders listens to this, and apparently you're the good one. So massive thumbs up to you for getting the job done. There's another one that is just a bit of a being that just doesn't bother turning up. Hence why Graham's been in the dildo den for about fucking three months. He's just got shit behind him constantly. But anyway, enough of that. He sent me a picture of his wardrobes this morning. It looks great. That's what you want when you buy wardrobes. You want them to look great. But yeah, it is just me for the time being, for the next couple of days. Again, I think he is off on Monday as well. I can't remember. I could look at the calendar, but that'll take time. Do you know what I mean? I could ask him. That'll take time. But you're here. You want to listen to me talk about video games. I'm here. I want to talk about video games. And we have got a stacked show. Not as stacked as Friday. Friday's show was something else. I mean, as the day was progressing, I was texting Graham because obviously I pull the show together. Graham's a very good host. I don't think I'm a very good host. I think I'm a very good at talking. I think I'm a very good co-host. But in terms of putting a show together, Graham is very good at that. I just give him the tools to be able to do that. And I think it's a very good partnership. We work very well together. So as I'm pulling the news together, I'm going, Graham, this is sick. Graham, this is sick. Graham, the show's stacked. Graham, it's sick. And then just as we pull all the news together, they announce that I start to do all the photoshopping stuff to do the banners. It sends me another message that the State of Play stuff has been announced as well. So Friday's was mental. Friday's show was probably the best one that we've done in terms of jam-packed articles for the day. It was probably the best that we've ever done. That wasn't just about a conference, do you know what I mean? Like, when we do the E3 ones, we do the E3 Fallout shows and Gamescom Fallout shows and stuff like that. Obviously, they are bangers because it's all the announcements and stuff, but in terms of different unrelated news coming out, I genuinely think that was good. And 2 Free Game Fridays. Amazon have joined the list for Free Game Friday, so, again, more good shit for you guys. No coincidence, it's all Graham's fault that the show is late, and I'm a great host, but I know I'm not. So that's all that matters. I think I'm a good co-host. You guys don't need to try to lick my ass with that. It's not required. It's not required. I know my limitations. But anyway, you want to talk about video games. I want to talk about video games. Again, stack show today. We've got some news regarding Xbox. We've got some MultiVersus leaks. We've got some screenshots that have now been released about a Marvel MMO. We've got some Jedi Fallen Order news. Not quite Fallen Order, but it's a sequel, and also some news coming out from Sega and potentially a new home console. So that is the show for today. We are The Scoop. We are the UK's #1 video game podcast, even if we do say so ourselves. We are Ice Cream Uploads. We go live each and every single weekday at 10 a.m. ish. We definitely fit into the ish realm today. The ish is all over the place usually. It's usually like 2 p.m. or something like that. I think we actually went live about 3:30 last week, which is probably the latest we've ever gone live, but we are genuinely... This is the busy period. Like, we're being in the video games industry and talking about video games, that the lead up to any major conference, things start to pick up. That is why our work starts to pick up as well, because obviously people want to use our professional services at Jelly Media. So that is obviously why our work gets rammed into very small bundles and then just explodes, and then we've got stuff to do. Man City supporter is bad, but a great host anyway. I mean, I'll take that. Have I got any kind of baby sick on me today, because usually until I go live and I look at myself in the camera, I then realise that Joseph has probably started. There we go, right there. That's blame the boy, blame this fella here. It's not that bad. It's not. We'll get over it. I've got a child. It's what it is. If you ain't got sick on you, you're not holding your child. Do you know what I mean? But anyway. Again, Stack Show today. We're going to start with some Xbox news. It's been a while since we've done that, so I'm doing it just for you, Tito. Let me bring this one up here. I haven't put them in order, you see. Graham usually puts them in tabs. This is what I mean. This is what I'm talking about. He'll have all of the news up, and he'll have them in tab order of what he wants to talk to him. I just throw mine on the screen and then see what happens. But here we go. First news story of the day. I am going to... Oh, chatbot. Well done. Well done, Tito. Well done, that man. Let me stick that chatbot right on now. Again, this is why me and Gray make a very good team. 1 second. Just loading up now. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a quick sip of my brew. And I'll hum at the same time so I can do that. See what I mean? I can drink and I can hum at the same time. There you go. You got a nice little interlude for you there. It looks like it's up and running. Okay, cool. Anyway, first news article written on VGC over by Jordan Midland. He states that Bethesda's Indiana Jones game may not be an Xbox exclusive. It has been claimed. The game was announced in early 2021. Bethesda's upcoming Indiana Jones game, currently in development at Wolfenstein Studio Machine Games, may not be an Xbox exclusive. It has been claimed. Speaking on the Xbox 2 podcast, wow, I've never heard that one before. Windows Central's Jez Corden says that he's heard a rumor around a year ago that the game wouldn't be an Xbox exclusive, despite being developed by the Microsoft-owned Machine Games. While he's discussing the game, Corden's co-host Rand Althor says, "We don't know if it's exclusive," to which Corden replies, "It isn't." He goes on, "The only information that I've had is Indiana Jones is that it wasn't exclusive, but that was a long time ago, and maybe something has changed." Machine Games' Indiana Jones, which was announced early last year, it has been working on a collaboration with newly reformed Lucasfilm Games. Exclusive producer by Elder Scrolls and Fallout director Todd Howard, the Indiana Jones game will owe a wholly original standalone tale at the height of the career of the famed adventurer, Bethesda said. "It'll take some time," this is a quote by the way, "it'll take some time before we have more to reveal, but we are very excited to share the news today," the company added at the time. In a separate post on StarWars.com, Lucasfilm said that some clues to the game's setup could be found in a teaser trailer that was revealed during the announcement. Machine Games said in a statement that as huge fans of the franchise, it is a tremendous honor for us to create a brand new Indiana Jones game with a completely original story. We're very excited and I can't wait to share more with you in the future. Go on then, Gordon, says Tito. So, ladies and gentlemen, a Bethesda game, obviously now Microsoft owned, is going to be coming out on all platforms. That could be Google Stadia, that could be the PlayStation 5, or PlayStation consoles as a whole. It could be on your Steam app, as if Steam was a console. It could be on a Stream Deck. It could be on anything that Bethesda decides to release it for, and that, for me, is very good news. Not just because I have a PlayStation 5 and most of my games are on there, but in terms of them building revenue, this is the same conversation that I've had for a while with you guys. I love the fact that Bethesda is obviously seen as a company that makes fantastic storytelling games, and the fact that Xbox has bought them to try and make games for the Xbox console, so they will get as much revenue from those product sales, means that they will make a lot of money. It just goes hand in hand with that. Obviously, you sell games, you make money. Ta-da! It's as simple as that. But Bethesda are very good at telling stories. Okay? And them having an Indiana Jones game, they're going to tell a story. If it's anything as good as the Skyrim story, as the Elder Scrolls stories or the Fallout stories, an Indiana Jones game will be amazing. I think this is definitely one of them games that is on the top of people's watch list. They want to hear more from it. But the fact that Xbox isn't keeping it on their console gives me hope that the rest of the Bethesda games will be available on other consoles. Going to dig a little bit deeper into this. So I've said multiple times on this podcast that it makes sense for Xbox to buy the company, but it doesn't make much sense for them to only have the game on the console. Again, I'll drill deeper a little bit into that. So if you have an exclusive game, it's only available on that console. Whether or not it's for a limited time or whether or not it's till the end of time, an exclusive game on that console generates you money for that particular brand. That's it. No questions asked. PlayStation can't take a chip of that. Steam can't take a chip of that. EA and Origin can't take a chip of that. Battle.net can't take a chip of that. All of these different storefronts can't have that game on their platform. It's as simple as that. Elder Scrolls games predominantly are available on all consoles, with the exception of Morrowind. That was the only game that I can think of that came out on a console that wasn't on any other console. That came out on the original Xbox. Oblivion came out on all consoles. Obviously, Skyrim came out on all consoles. Daggerfall was originally a PC game, and Arena was also a PC game that didn't come out on any other console, but that was like early 90s, you know what I mean? There wasn't, they obviously did have home consoles then, but there's no way those games ever would have been able to be played on those consoles. Nowadays, though, with the success of Skyrim and the success of Elder Scrolls Online, the success of Fallouts across all consoles, for me, it didn't make much sense for them to have those games exclusive to an Xbox, because the other consoles can't take a chip of that, which is obviously what propelled Bethesda to absolute stardom in terms of obviously creating these games. Imagine having Doom on just the Xbox. I mean, it would be fantastic for the Xbox fans, but there's a lot more money out there that they could potentially have. I've got a feeling that it could be a timed exclusive at the max. I think it may be a year timed exclusive, 12 months of just having these games on the console, and then they'll get released on other consoles. It doesn't make much sense for them to not have the new Elder Scrolls, the new Fallout, the new Doom, and potentially a new Prey, an Indiana Jones game, all of these games that will make them a stupid amount of money, which is obviously why they bought them in the first place, to not have the bigger piece of the pie. Again, I'm going to drill down into this one. PlayStation are obviously outselling Xboxes. I don't think that isn't a new statement. That shouldn't be something that goes, hold on a second, since when? Like, this has been going on for the last 7 or 8 years. Xbox have made so much ground up on PlayStation, but at this moment in time, I think the last reported thing, and again, if anyone can clarify this for me, I'm sure it's 3-1 in terms of PlayStation. PlayStation is selling 3 consoles to the Xbox's 1. And at a time where you can't really buy the premium versions of both, so you can buy an Xbox Series S, and you can buy PlayStation digital editions pretty easy. They seem to go on sale quite a lot, but to buy the disc version, to buy the Xbox Series X, it's still quite difficult to get hold of. We all understand this. So to not have these games on the console that people are still buying at 3-1, that's, you're basically tripling your profits if you do sell it over to those consoles because they have access to it. We understand that having exclusives sells you consoles. If the Elder Scrolls games were only to come out on the Xbox, would that have enticed me to buy an Xbox? Of course, that's what they want me to do. They want me to go out and buy an Xbox just to be able to play these games, and I absolutely would have done. But I'm in a half-decent position to be able to afford both if I needed to. I got mine with my phone contract, my Xbox Series S with my phone contract. So Samantha bought me my PS5 for my 30th birthday, so yeah, I'm in a very privileged position. I make no bones about that. Obviously, I have got both. If I could have an Xbox Series X instead of my S, I'd have probably had it, but that's a lot of money that I don't have. So me being able to have both consoles puts me back in prime position to be able to play these games when they come out, but not everybody has that. Families can't afford to have 2 consoles. They can't afford to have one most of the time. So it'll be difficult. It'll be a slow burner if all of these games came out on the Xbox, which is great for them because it probably will go on Game Pass day one. So their Game Pass subscriptions will go through the roof. It'll skyrocket, and it won't cost them anything because they already own the company. It's not as if they have to pay these third-party companies to have their game on Xbox Game Pass. It's all profit to them. I've just realised I've got more sick right up here that I missed earlier. Nice one, Joseph. Let's go back through the comments. And Tito says, make Elder Scrolls Xbox exclusive, I say, Kappa. Success of Skyrim and all the additionals, remakes, etc. Exactly. How many copies of Skyrim does Bibby own? Too many, some might say. Lace says, oh, That's why it's so early, says Lake. Tino says, hot take, is Game Pass enough to remove any of the time exclusive elements? I mean, release a game and you can play it for free or buy it. Most would still play it for free, well under subscription anyway. It depends. Yeah, I agree with you. I do agree with you. If you have your games on Game Pass, then people are quite happy to be able to pay the £8 or the £11, depending on if you want to go Ultimate and stuff like that. However, if it's a game that I am all in for, I will probably buy it anyway. Like, if a new Elder Scrolls came out and it went onto Game Pass, I'd be all over it on Game Pass, but I will probably buy the collector's edition. I will probably buy the physical edition, obviously depending on how much I'm not going to spend. I'm not going to drop in 300 notes on a collector's edition for a statue. That's never going to happen. But I'll be quite happy to drop the 60 quid to be able to pick it up physical, even though I would have it on Game Pass. I know I am not the norm in that, though. Like, having a physical collection of games behind me, again, this isn't all the games that I own. This is just a few of them. I've got like 4 boxes in my cupboard behind me. I just don't have room to be able to store them all in this room at the moment in time. I am hoping to get shelves up and down this wall at some point. I don't know when that's going to be, whenever I can be asked putting them up. But I am definitely not everybody when it comes to being able to buy physical games. A lot of people have moved away from that now, and having subscription models where you having those games are ready available. Like, I'm getting new internet soon. Like the 13th of June, I'm getting like, I think it said 650 download. It's like between 400 and 650, which is I'm getting like 70 now. I'm probably getting 60 because I'm streaming. But yeah, being able to download those games like that without even thinking about it will help my life a lot easier, and it will also make streaming a much more viable option as well with Xbox Game Cloud and stuff like that. So yeah, we are in a much better position than we was, but in terms of game, like Indiana Jones not being an exclusive, I think is a massive win. I don't know whether or not this is the game that they're testing the water with, in terms of how many people are going to be buying it from other consoles, and they can make their big decision when a new massive AAA, i.e. Doom, Fallout, Elder Scrolls. What's this Skyrim? Elder Scrolls, man. Lois is there. Hope you had a great screw. Hope you have a great screw, broski. I hope you're doing okay, mate. Hope you had a fantastic weekend. JMK says, I haven't bought a physical game in over a year. I buy them all online now when they're on sale, much cheaper and tidier. Yeah, and you are part of the growing number of people that obviously want things to be readily available for you. I am too. I'm not going to deny that I have a load of digital games. I tend to buy them when they're on sale as well. But for games that I want to have, like I've got behind Sonic is a Pro Evolution Soccer shelf. So I've got all the Pezzes behind there. Where Deadpool is, that's all Resident Evil games and a few Silent Hill ones. Then I've got a shelf of all football games, PS1 and Nintendo Switch games, and then just a mismatch of games. Like, I literally bought these games yesterday. The Beatles Rock Band, Band Hero, and Dungeon Siege. Like, who the fuck's buying Dungeon Siege? It was a quid. I remember playing that game and loving it way back when, so I thought, for a quid, I'm having that. It's going back on my shelf again. But I know I'm not part of the new. I am the old school in that regard. I love having physical media, so like I've got my Xbox 360 underneath my desk here when I want to play Guitar Hero. Flick my HDMI switch on, I get my Guitar Hero controller out. I'm going to play some Beatles Rock Band later on. Like, I've got the facilities to be able to do that. Xbox 360 servers have now been shut off. I don't think I'm able to play online on most games. Eventually they'll shut the storefront, so you're not able to buy anything. You might be able to re-download the games that you've already have, but I can just put them discs in and I'm good to go. Do you know what I mean? Tino says, games, music, films, all digital for me now. Also, that film I was on about last night had a Saints Row vibe on top of the madness of hot dog fingers. There was a fight scene with adult toys. Fantastic. Great style. Getting dildoed, mate. But anyway, let's get this let's move this show on. What should we go with? Let's go with this. Again, I have no particular order. I just usually go with the title and then we'll move on to the next one. This one, once again, has been written on VGC by Jordan Midler, and he states that a MultiVersus leaker suggests that Ted Lasso and Scorpion could join the roster. The info comes from the same person who originally leaked the game. A list of characters reportedly coming to the MultiVersus include Ted Lasso and Scorpion. In a post on Reddit, the user suggests that while some expected characters such as the Joker will be joining the game, other surprise characters such as Apple TV's Ted Lasso are also planned. In other surprise additions include Fred Flintstone, Samurai Jack, and Godzilla is not a surprise addition. Godzilla has been in everything at this moment in time. I think it might still be in COD. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, the following characters are mostly finished according to the user. This is backed up with a large amount of data mined information from the base game, including the voice lines from the Joker, Raven, Gizmo, Marvin the Martian, LeBron James, Rick from Rick and Morty, Morty from Rick and Morty, Scooby-Doo from Scooby-Doo, Daenerys from Game of Thrones, the Hound from Game of Thrones, Wicked Witch from The Wizard of Oz, and Godzilla from Godzilla. The following list of characters have also been reportedly planned for inclusion, but are at the early stage of development, including Mr. Johnny Bravo, Fred Flintstone from The Flintstones, Samurai Jack from Samurai Jack, the Powerpuff Girls from the Powerpuff Girls, the Animaniacs from the Animaniacs, Duck Dodgers and Daffy from Looney Tunes, Scorpion from Mortal Kombat, Ben 10 from Ben 10, and Ted Lasso from Ted Lasso. The poster notes that the previously leaked characters from Mad Max and Harry Potter are currently on hold, and that despite being part of the original leak, it is unclear if any of the if any work from Harry Potter was ever completed. While Ted Lasso may have seen some strange inclusions, the hugely popular football-based Apple TV series is partly produced by Warner Brothers Television Studios in conjunction with Universal Studios. The character was based on a sketch from Saturday Night Live, which was later used by NBC to promote its coverage of Premier League football. Tito says, hang on a second. So the Animaniacs are going to be the same size as Godzilla? Yeah, apparently so. Apparently so, like all the characters. Obviously, like Bugs Bunny might be a little bit smaller than Batman or something like that. But yeah, I don't think Godzilla's going to be taking up half the map, do you? But anyway, genuinely, we have seen a lot of Smash clones over the years. I think this could be the closest to Smash and the most enjoyable game to Smash there has probably ever going to be. Like, the broad selection of characters that I've just rung off there, that's mental. Like, just think about the characters that I've just mentioned there. Marvin the Martian from Looney Tunes, obviously he's tiny, versus LeBron James. Like, this is crazy shit. This is genuinely crazy shit. And I can't imagine how much it's cost them for the licenses of all these. Although it does say that they obviously own the rights for a lot of them. But having like Ted Lasso is owned by Apple TV, it's a bit mental. But I think this probably could be the closest to Smash that we're going to see. And the characters that we're going to get are like, there's nobody left to be put into Smash from the video game world, in my opinion, that's relevant. Do you know what I mean? We've had Snake. We've had Jill Valentine. We've had people from Resident Evil. We've had people from Mortal Kombat in there. We've had DC. Have we had DC villains in there as well? So having a game that's got a fresh output that will include real life people like LeBron James in there as well, that means to say that the celebrity endorsements will be far and wide, in my opinion. Having the likes of Ted Lasso in there too. So Johnny Bravo, that's gonna be sick. That is genuinely going to be sick. So yeah, that's some more MultiVersus. I can't wait to. I don't know if I'm going to play it straight off the bat. I will probably watch people who are a lot better equipped to play combat games and fighting games than I am. I'm going to have a look and see what it looks like, and then probably one of those games that you end up playing when you have your mates round. I'd be shit online. Like, it's just not worth my time. It's not worth you guys watching me play that either, because I'd just be getting my ass kicked constantly left, right, and centre. I mean, that's no different from me playing Fortnite or anything. Dave says they could have had Dexter from Dexter's Lab and have all his robots and other inventions in it. Mate, this is just the beginning. If this game sells well, they will be including every man and his dog in there. Cat Dog will be in there. Ed, and Eddie, probably. Wasn't there a Cartoon Network one not long ago? I don't think that did very well, did it? Or was it a Nickelodeon one? It might have been a Nickelodeon one, actually. And I don't think it did particularly well, whereas this, obviously, people are a lot more hyped about because they can relate to the characters, because it has characters from every generation. Like, I don't even think they make Johnny Bravo anymore. Obviously, we know what they are. My brother will have no idea what Johnny Bravo is, because there's 15 years between us. Callsman says, cock. Have you just found yours? Let us know in the chat. Let us know. But anyway, moving on to the next news article of the day. 1 second. Boom. There we go. Screenshots from that now cancelled Marvel MMO are now online. Written by Vikki Blake over at Eurogamer. She states that the emphasis was on the rich and vibrant colours of the stylistic tones that pay homage to Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Remember that the Marvel MMORPG we discovered has been recently cancelled? Well, now we can see that we're missing courtesy of newest screenshots uploaded to an artist portfolio on ArtStation. Romero Galan, the principal designer at Pixel Kings, shared a handful of never-before-seen images on their digital portfolio, showing off what appears to be a cancelled game character's creation screen. Here's a series of styles and screens by Romero Galan for a cancelled Marvel MMO title. The album's description tells us that the emphasis was on rich, vibrant colours with stylistic tones that pay homage to Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. All design, 3D materials, lighting, and post-processes effects were done by Romero Galan. Where are these screenshots? I don't know. I saw them earlier. I'll find them. The screenshots show that the game has been planning to give players 4 actions from which chose the X-Men, S.H.I.E.L.D., Avengers, and the Fantastic Four, and offers stylistic graphics and a rich, vibrant colour scheme. Enegal Global, EG7, announced that the cancellation of Daybreak's game Marvel MMORPG a couple of days back, stating that based on the reevaluation of the development risk profile, size of investment, and the long-term product portfolio strategy from the group, the board have decided to change the development priorities and reallocate its resources within the group to focus on alternative long-term plans. As Victoria summarised for us at the time, EG7 further revealed it had planned to invest more than 500 million, which is 40 million pounds. 40 million pounds in this project over the coming few years. Will now use these funds to diversify investments across multiple smaller projects within the group, including the upgrades to the Lord of the Rings Online and DC Universe Online, as well as other first-party original IPs. As if they're still doing upgrades to Lord of the Rings Online. I genuinely thought that they'd shut that down. DC Universe Online is still going because I was actually playing that on my Switch maybe about 6 months ago. But Lord of the Rings Online, I genuinely thought that they shut that down. But anyway, EG7 stated that it did not feel discontinuing the development of the Marvel project would impact us in its near to medium term revenues and profits. Daybreak Games revealed that it had another stab at MMORPGs a few years ago before its cancellation sparked layoffs in late 2018. Now, when I pulled this article out this morning, I found... Was it this? Did I click through to an article? There was pictures from it, and to be honest with you, it didn't look that good. I have no idea where the pictures are for this. This is kind of annoying. But anyway, is it on this? Nope. I have no idea. Where the hell did I see these pictures? Anyway, it didn't look that great. Tino says, I didn't realise it had been cancelled. Feck, that sounds like because Avengers died a death, they don't want to risk it. That was my immediate thought. Because it still throws me that there's still got some Lord of the Rings stuff going on. Because genuinely, I thought that game had died a long time ago. But the DC Universe Online, the player base can't be that big for that game anymore. It doesn't strike me, when you think of MMOs, it doesn't strike me as the ones that are the top of the list, like the games that you just want to talk about. When you say MMO, you say World of Warcraft, you'll say ESO, you'll say Final Fantasy, you'll say Black Desert. Like all of these games, I'm definitely missing a load in there as well. But Lord of the Rings and DC Universe Online aren't the ones that stand out. So it surprises me that they are still taking investment from the Marvel side of things and to put them back in here again. I haven't seen an advert for a DC Universe Online game for a long time. So is that because they want to move people onto those projects to try and make them more viable money earners? Maybe. I think that'll probably be your best bet, because if it's not in the conversation, then people aren't talking about it. It's as simple as that when it comes to video game marketing. If it's not in the conversation on social media and people aren't making videos about it, people aren't streaming it, it's not being put in any kind of online magazine. I mean, normal physical magazines, I'm not sure how many of those even get printed and sold anymore. But if it's not being read by the likes of us on Video Game News podcasts, then it needs to be back into the conversation again. And it doesn't surprise me if they didn't want to take the third path after looking at what's happened with Marvel Avengers and go, do you know what? Take that money back out there again, and let's push these two back into the realm again. That shouldn't be surprising from a marketing standpoint. The only thing that does surprise me is that the Lord of the Rings is still genuinely still going on. I thought that game died a long time ago. But here we are. It's a shame. There have been Marvel MMOs in the past. I'm fairly certain I played one on my PS4, like when the PS4 first came out. Was it Marvel's Amiga or something like that? Marvel's Omega. That was pretty good, but as a full scale environment, world, quests, it didn't really compare to DC Universe. DC Universe is a great game. Or it was for the time period. I think that a lot of games are doing what they did 10 years ago way better now, and it doesn't feel like they've just reached that next step yet. They haven't moved up. They've just kind of stayed flat, which is a shame, because it was a good game, but I'm just not sure what they have in the future. But anyway, let me take a quick swig of this and move on to the next news article as well. Oh, that's a good one. Let me just check something, actually, because I don't know if someone posted this in the Discord. And if I did, yeah, I thought I'd seen it, but I didn't look to go and get it because it was an IGN post on YouTube. So this one was submitted, well, the video was, by Chappers. Hey, Taysbad, how you doing, mate? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. So moving on to the next article then. Written on PC Gamer, it states that EA officially unveils sequel to Jedi Fallen Order. Charisma, Singularity, Cal Kestis. The next adventure is Jedi Survivor, and it's out next year. I still have Graham's copy of this on my shelf behind me, so I need to get this finished and give it back to him in time for this. I'll probably wait and let him buy Jedi Survivor, and then I'll borrow it off him, and then not give it him back for 2 years. But we're not going to tell him that. I don't know if he's listening, but we're not going to tell him that, so don't tell him that. We'll keep it between us. Anyway, EA has finally unveiled the rumoured sequel to 2019's Jedi Fallen Order. The more punchier name Jedi Survivor is coming sometime in 2023. Aminusha, thank you very much for the follow. Very much appreciate it. Developed by the same team at Respawn as Fallen Order, Jedi Survivor begins 5 years after the events of the first game, which ended with Cal fleeing from Darth Vader. Okay, I don't need to finish the game anymore. After sabotaging the Imperial plot. Fuck! Why did I read this? This time skip will see a gruffer, more lantern-jawed Cal Jediing up the height of the Emperor's power. Jesus Christ, that was a tongue twister. Jedi Survivor's pre-rendered trailer shows Cal pondering someone floating in the back of tank. Interspersed with shots of lightsaber combat with a view of his ship, the Mantis, crashed in a desert world. The narrator muses on the hopelessness of Cal's situation while wondering what his next move will be. We don't need to read their review or anything like that, but let's just watch the trailer. Do it. I don't think I can have sound on. This could be an issue. Right, okay, so it's not got any copyright music.
Tell me, Cal Kestis, why lead when they won't follow?
Graphically, it looks insane, doesn't it?
Why fight? When you can't win.
Ooh.
What is your next move, Jedi?
Okay, that's enough of that. I'm not letting you watch any more of that. Woo! Man, that looks good. It does make me want to go back and play the first one now, though. So I guess the marketing's doing its job there. Has anybody actually played the original one, 2019's Fallen Order? Did anyone finish it? Graham's going to get it, considering how he loved Fallen. Yeah, Graham's obviously going to be getting this game. Graham's one of the biggest Star Wars fans that I know. So I need to finish this game and get it back to him. How long is it? Time to beat. Let's have a look. Time to beat. Because I was seriously contemplating putting Cyberpunk in and finishing that at some point. Starting it, shall we say. Jedi Fallen Order, how long to beat? It is 17 hours. That's not bad. 21.5 hours for the main story and the side quest. That's not bad. 31 hours to complete everything. I'm not going to complete everything. I just do the storyline. Woo! So yeah, I'm going to try and get this finished. I mean, we've got bank holiday weekend, so I could definitely try and plow through it over the nights. That'd be great. I never did, even though it's on Game Pass. I really should. This might actually be one that I play downstairs in the front room then. Is it actually on Game Pass, Tito? Yeah. Or is it on EA Play? I mean, I've got both because of the free Game Pass anyway. I might actually download this on my Xbox Series S in the front room so I can play it on big TV through EA Play. I might do that, you know. Rather than being sat in my room. Like, I love this room. I love my chair. It just gets super hot when you're in here for so long. And then when it gets... Because if I'm working from home and I've been sat in my chair all day, the last thing I want to do at night, when the boy gets put to bed, when I've put the missus to bed, I give her a backstroke and stuff like that. I don't want to come back into my room again. I want to be sat on something comfy, which is my chair in the front room. Very much Jim Royal-esque. I got my chair in front of the TV. I want to sit there and I want to play my games. Don't want to be back sat on this again because I've been sat on it all day. So that could be the one that I actually finish. Start and finish on my Series S. That might be worthwhile on my 4K TV downstairs. My big 80-inch 4K TV in the front room. Anyway, we've got one news article left for today, ladies and gentlemen. Did you think that Sega will be getting back into video game home consoles? Did you? Did you, though? Because I don't think you did. But here we are. It's 2022. And Sega is announcing a new project next week, which may be another mini console. I know I baited you in a little bit, thinking that they were going to be bringing out a Mega Drive 2 or something like that. But yeah, they're going to be making some smaller consoles, as predicted. Sega has announced that it will reveal a new project written on VGC by Chris Scullion as a new project in Japan next week, which may be retro-themed. A tweet from the official Japanese Sega Twitter account states that an urgent notice live broadcast to announce Sega's new project will be delivered at 8 p.m. on June the 3rd. I don't know if that's UK time. It's stated there, 12 p.m. BST. Great style. The news will be streamed of a live presentation on Sega Japan's YouTube channel, which begins on June the 3rd at 8 p.m. Japan time, 12 p.m. BST, and 7 a.m. Eastern time. Adding that Jesus Christ. Hiroki I'm so bad at reading names. I'm so sorry. Even though we see these names all the time and I genuinely say them in passing conversation, when I go to read them, my brain falls apart. So I do apologise. So will appear as part of the live stream, and the tweet then says that, does that mean, along with a photo of a chocolate cake covered in Mega Drive and a Genesis controller, the presence of Miyazaki's Jesus Christ. Suggests that the announcement may be a new mini console because the two announced the Mega Drive Mini, the Sega Festival in 2019. Okunyari is a producer at Sega and for the past 15 years has worked most exclusively on the retro releases for the company, including the Sega Ages 2500 series on the PS2, the Sega 3D Classes on the 3DS, and the Sega Ages series on the Nintendo Switch. He was also the contents lead for the Sega Mega Drive Mini console, which was released in 2019. Miyazaki, meanwhile, as an exclusive manager at Sega, has worked on a wide range of products, but most recently was a project lead on the Sega Mega Drive Mini. What the fuck is that? Wow. That's a doozy of a controller. Okunyari suggested that in October 2022, Sega's mini console could be based on the Sega Dreamcast. In an interview with the Fatsumi magazine following the Japan-only release of the Game Mini, Onukari said that he wanted the next project to deliver hardware that had stronger global potential. Stronger global potential than the Sega Mega Drive. The Dreamcast did nothing. They did no numbers compared to the Mega Drive, but anyway, they've already got one of them out in the wild, obviously. So the Sega Mega Drive Mini, if I have some names, it could be the SG-1000 or a Mini or a Dreamcast Mini. I mean, I would like to have a Mega Drive Mini. I would like to have a Sega Dreamcast Mini. I would like to have a Sega CD Mini. I would like to have all of these mini consoles. Maybe not to play, but just have stuff. Just to say I've got one. Do you know what I mean? Just to have as a little collector's item. If I did want to plug it into my big TV, rather than plugging in my old Mega Drive and then it looking shit on my big TV. Don't plug a PlayStation 2 into your HD TV nowadays because it just stretches the screen. Unless you have something that can convert it, then it does look a little bit pants. But yeah, having these smaller versions of these consoles would be great. I just want viable options. I want Do you remember the PlayStation, the PS1 Mini? And I'm talking about the classic slim one from like the year 2000 when they made it, and it was about this big, and you could press the flat. It was like whoop like that. It was a really small thin console. Why can't they make them nowadays with HDMI ports in them? Like, surely that would be better than making smaller ones that you can't put discs into. I know it will probably cost a little bit more because they'll have to put the lasers in there. There'll be a lot more moving parts, and rather than it just being a Raspberry Pi built out alongside it in the peripherals of a smaller console. I understand that. But it can't. Nowadays, buying them parts can't be that expensive. And the markup on these consoles are ridiculous. Like, to buy a Raspberry Pi and then have a PlayStation shell on the outside of it probably cost you about 60 quid. And they're selling it for like 120, 150 quid. Like, the markup on them is stupid. You could probably buy PlayStation 1 parts for next to nothing and still sell them for a massive profit with an HDMI output on the back of it. Do you know what I mean? Tito says, I love my Dreamcast. Power Stone was so good. Crazy Taxi and Jet Set Radio. I played Crazy Taxi out of that list. I mean, if you wanted a Dreamcast, you'd probably want to play like Phantasy Star Online or something like that. Or House of the Dead. Typing of the Dead, that was sick. Like all of these different versions of the games. Well, Crazy Taxi would be in. A new Game Gear, says Fatman Dave. I'd be open for that one that doesn't swallow your batteries, like 6 AA batteries after about 15 minutes of playing Sonic on it. I'd like the opportunity to be able to do that. Play Phantasy Star Online a bit. And mate, that was so good. I mean, I've got Phantasy Star on my 360. It might actually be in my box over there. Is it? Oh no, it's there. Da 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 da. Phantasy Star Universe on the Xbox 360. Online play requires subscription free. So I'm not going to be new to the franchise. I have played them before. I've got them. So that would be pretty sick if I can go back and play them. There's a mod for both versions of the PS1 to give you a HDMI for around 70 quid. Yeah, but that requires you soldering it yourself. I don't want to do that shit. I want someone to be selling me a console for £120 that I can put, I don't know, Michael Owen's World League Soccer 99, or This Is Football, or Euro 2000, or the FA Premier League Stars, or my Resident Evil games. You know what I mean? Just let me put my disc in. I don't think it's that difficult. It shouldn't be that difficult. I don't want to do all that shit on my own. But yeah, that's today's episode of The Scoop. Thank you very much for taking a tour of Bibby's room. You've got to see Joseph sick on my shoulder. You've got to see our sponsors, our proud sponsors here, Astro. Thank you very much for supporting this channel. Elgato for sending over Wave Free Controller. You know, I'm just doing a room tour at this moment in time. But yeah, I appreciate every single one of you that have joined us for today's episode of The Scoop. We will be back tomorrow with the penultimate episode of The Scoop, because we're only having 3 this week because it's bank holiday and we like to spend time with our families, and Graham's probably still going to be having his wardrobes fitted at this moment in time. But if you want to help shape tomorrow's show, where I'll be live from the ICU studio, there's 2 ways that you can do so. First of all, find us on social media. It is at Ice Cream Uploads across all major social media platforms. Or alternatively, get involved with our Discord. All the links are being put into the chat by Tito. Thank you very much for that, pal. If you're watching this in any of our on-demand services, go to the description below. All the links that you require will be listed there for you. But all we need from you is a URL plus your thoughts and impressions. We will then give you our thoughts and impressions, i.e. me will give you my thoughts and impression on tomorrow's episode of The Scoop, which probably won't be at 10 a.m. because I need to get into the office, get everything prepared. It's not a luxury of me being able to walk through that door behind me from my bedroom on the other side. I need to travel to Blackpool, so it probably will be after 10 a.m. tomorrow. But yeah, we will go through all the video game news right then. If you, again, post it on all social media platforms. You know the drill by now and all that. I'm going to send you over to one of our friends. Please go into their channel. Say hello to them. Even if it's a flying visit, saying a hi and bye, you'll get your sprinkles. You know, all that good shit. But as always, guys, there's always 2 things that I want you to do. First of all, have a fantastic day. It's Monday. Second of all, stay frosty.